close up. Have you ever looked at a flower up close? What do you notice that you didn't see from far away? When you look at a flower from far away, you may notice the shape and the color, but not all the details. Let's look at this painting by Georgia O'Keeffe again. Do you think she could paint this flower from her memory, or would she need to see the flower in front of her? I agree. And Georgia O'Keeffe would look closely at flowers when she was painting them. Then she could add all the wonderful details that make that flower so special. Some artists like to observe nature from a distance, from further away. And some artists like to observe nature up close. Which way do you like to observe nature? Here are some more artists that like to look closely. This is Esther Carini. She is known for doing very realistic paintings of animals. Her advice is to do animals that you are interested in, and also be patient and persevere. Robert Honey photographs flowers. But first he dissects the flower carefully, showing each part of the flower, as each part is important for us to see. His advice to artists is to keep creativity alive by doing something creative every day. Linnea Tobias was 5 years old when she started painting, just like many of you. She likes to paint succulents, which is a type of cactus. And Sarah Graham doesn't paint nature, but she is often inspired by objects from her childhood, especially things with bright colors, like this box of crayons. She says, "Don't be afraid, really look hard at what you are working on." Now let's look at some ways that we can explore looking closely. Start with a picture of something that you can look at closely, or even something real. I'm going to start with this picture of a flower I found, and I'm looking for the shapes. I noticed that small oval in the middle, and then I noticed that the leaf shape is like a pointy oval. There are 5 petals on this flower. I drew with a Sharpie so you could see, but I recommend using a pencil first. I also notice the line running through each petal. And then on each line, I even see very small veins. By looking closely at the picture, I can create a realistic looking flower. I'm using colored pencil to add color, and I see on the edges it has a darker value, so I press hard with my colored pencil. And towards the center it gets lighter, so I'm not pressing as hard. Leaves are also super interesting to look at closely. I see the 3 large ovals and the large vein running through the middle. So I'll start my drawing in pencil with the 3 large ovals. Now, if you notice, the edge of the leaf is spiky. So I'm drawing a little zigzag line around my ovals. I've switched to my Sharpie for this. The lines running through the leaf are some of the most interesting parts to draw. Once you're done with your pencil, erase all your pencil lines. I think I'll use watercolors for this one. When I do watercolor, I always start with the lightest color. That's yellow, so I'm going to start with yellow. While it's still wet, I'm going to switch to brown. You can see the brown right around the veins in the picture. And the water in the paint just kind of runs around wherever it wants to go. And I like that look. It's called wet on wet. While the yellow paint is still wet, I'll add my brown on top. I see some of the brown is going where I don't want it to go, so I'm going to use a paper towel and just dab it up. I also noticed green, so I'll add a little green. And after looking closely, I noticed it was really more of an orange color in the center of the leaf than brown. So I'm going over that with some orange paint. Once you've drawn or painted a beautiful flower or leaf, can you make more? Can you cut them out and make a garland? Can you make a sculpture? Add more to create a drawing? Color in your background? I can't wait to see what you come up with.